Hey y'all. Y'all up for a little walk and talk on the place? Sun shining in Texas, and that's been a rare thing of the last 10 days, but looks like we got a good string of it. I'm out here looking at white geraniums and green beans. I got this old well pulley off the place. I guess it was right after I got here, and thought I was going to get all country chic and put a couple of geraniums up. Got the snow apocalypse, and I was not home during that, or toward the end of it. I was in a good place, but wasn't here. And Jordan did what he could to make things work, but we lost my red geranium that I've grown for a couple of years, but we've got a replacement. And I don't know, I'm just out here thinking about the simple things. Had my thoughts kind of gathered to talk about tonight. Got the staff earning their keep mowing the yard this evening for all the eco-friendly folks saving on gas. Y'all hear that mower running? No, you don't, but it's getting mowed. Y'all watch DW. If he comes up on me, y'all gotta let me know. Y'all sound off in the comments. This phone may die on me. It's been acting pretty crazy. I've got plenty of battery, but it'll just shut down on its own. A good friend of mine told me that it was because Apple wanted me to buy a new one. I think it's because I ran over it with that tiller about a month ago. Had to spend a good chunk to get it repaired, but that's okay too. We'll hopefully hold off on that a bit. No, I've been thinking about the simple things, and as I mentioned, I had a few thoughts on my head until my favorite daughter, my only one, Miss Faith, out in North Carolina, or South Carolina, North Carolina, whatever. It may be fighting words out yonder. But now I popped on Facebook right before I went live and saw something she shared, and it kind of drove home the point of some things I wanted to talk about this evening, if y'all allow me just a bit. It was a scene from one of the Medea movies, talking about so many folks are like trees, and that's how she filters it. Medea, that is. A lot of them are like leaves. They'll hang around and grow and give you a little shade, but they seem to fall off from time to time, and there's a ton of those. But then there's the branches, a little stronger. They provide strength for the leaves. But you got to watch those branches, because as soon as you step on them and need their strength, it might break off on you and leave you high and dry. What you got to find is the roots. There's not too many of those. Hey, babe, there she is. She's been hiding underneath the house avoiding the rain, Miss Sissy. No, you're looking for the roots, and if you can find 2 or 3 of those in your life, those are the ones that give sustenance to the tree, that provides the branches, that provides the leaves. But thought that was a pretty cool thought this evening as the sun finally makes an appearance out here. I got weeds for days. I actually tried to do a little weeding yesterday evening late. Of course, it's still a soggy mess out here. So we're going to have to wait for a few days for it to dry up and get to a point where we can work on a little gardening, right? Reminds me of the old boy that was impatient. Walked to the top of a hill. He said, "God, I need to talk to you." Big voice boomed down, said, "Son, what can I do for you?" He said, "I just want to know, what is 1,000,000 years to you?" He said, "Well, probably about a minute, as far as you know." I said, "Okay." He said, "How much is $1,000,000 to you, God?" He said, "Well, I reckon, to put it in your context, probably about a penny." He said, "God, can I borrow a penny?" He said, "Yes, son, you certainly can, but just a minute." So we move on our timeline across this whole earth, and we have to understand that there are things bigger than us, bigger than this old washed out garden, peas planted, bigger than that beauty right there that takes care of the place. Watched her chase off a chicken hawk the other evening. Kind of funny, there's nothing here that's small enough for a chicken hawk to take off, but I was out there working on the tractor. It's been about a week ago. She'd come running around here just a barking. Of course, I always go to looking at what she's after. And sure enough, there's an old chicken hawk sitting up in that pine tree, and she was after that old rascal. Now, a buzzard, a crow, a blue jay, all of that can... Will y'all let me talk? Goofy turkeys. But anyway, she'll let all them other birds go, but somehow she knew that chicken hawk was a threat. Just in her soul, and she knew it had to go because she had the flock to protect. Funny thing about nature, and y'all can believe what you want to and say what you want to, but I've always had a strong faith and knew there was a greater design, a personal design that doesn't happen at random. And you can fight me on it, that's fine. I won't argue back. That's your opinion. It's all good. But I hatched these eggs on this place. And these old boys right here, I don't know which one was responsible for it, but we got one hen and two toms. And we've got a hatch of eggs in there. We've got, I think, 4 bourbon red turkeys that have already hatched. But it's always fascinated me. And I got thinking about that today. There's a young lady, I guess, she was born about 45 miles, less than an hour away from here in Jacksonville, Texas. Probably her signature song. She put it out there at 35 years old. Lyrics that she saw written from co-writers from California and Connecticut. But she connected with it. She's got a voice. In the crux of it, the meat of the song was, I hope you dance. And I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. And I think that's kind of what reset me here. So, 3 years ago or so. I guess it was always there. I've always kind of been that odd duck and cherished the white geraniums, the blooms, the delicacy of a Katabi bloom. I don't know how many of y'all see it. This camera probably won't pick it up, but it almost is like an orchid. Sissy got to come check it out, make sure it ain't a threat. It's all right, baby. It's just a flower. That's all right. But you know, as we go through life, I think we lose that sense of wonder. Hope I never do. I remember the first time that I tried to hatch some old eggs on this place, and I had what I called a chicken maternity ward out there in that old place, and I doted over those eggs and got in the way, really. And I think we got one out of it, for those of you that remember it. But since then, I've let nature do what it does. I have captured the eggs and put them in an incubator. But if you've never seen that process, it's pretty miraculous. From the time those old chickens drop that egg on that hay in their nesting box, fertile, barely 3 weeks elapse before a brand new life is hatched. I've contemplated that a lot because I watched the growth of it in the incubator. And about day 8, you can see the veins start to form. At day 15, there's some movement in there, if not before. But at day 18, when you take and lay it still, as it prepares to hatch between then and day 21. How does that happen randomly without a master design? It does not. That little chicken is in an embryonic stage, but he knows that he's got to peck through that embryo, that water, and find that air pocket at the top of that egg. At that point, he's got about 24 hours to make a hole in the outside of the egg. And then, once he busts through the outside of the egg, good Lord even put a little special device on the tip of their beak It's called a pip by popular opinion. It serves a function for just about a week to get out of that egg. He doesn't know anything but that water, that embryo. But something in him, something in that design says, I got to get out of here. And he starts pecking. And he makes a circle around that egg and he pops out, still confused, still driven by the master design. And then we have a chicken. If they can't make it out on their own, they're not going to make it in life anyway. They've got to go through that struggle. Use their tools that they've been born with to persevere. It's powerful stuff, y'all. So for those that say there's not a master design, that's your opinion. I'll allow you to have it, but it's not for me. I've seen the simpleness of life. The Lord's blessed me with that. And it's pretty cool. It really is. Speaking of differences in opinion, I see a lot of it on Facebook, and Facebook's a blessing and a curse, isn't it? It allows us to reconnect with folks that may not have had that opportunity with once they went through about 6 phone number changes. No, I'm not talking about me. Well, kind of. But it also can harbor some negative. I'm guilty of it. I won't be a hypocrite. I'll see a question posed or somebody's family business posted on Facebook. You know, just, it's how we are these days. It's sad. And I start to respond, but I hold. And I thank God for that wisdom that it's taken me a long time to get, because I do. I'll type it out and I'm like, no, it's not necessary. It's a difference of opinion. And no one is won over in the theater of opinion on Facebook. Now on the front porch, we might could have a conversation because we're looking in each other's eyes, right? They feel our heart, they feel our soul. Not on Facebook. Just stop it. But it reminded me of the story of the young man that had a dog, a lab it was, and it was sure enough a good breed. And this young man loved to duck hunt. And he wanted the best duck hunting dog in the country. So he started out training that dog, and that dog took to the training. They worked diligently from spring to summer. That dog wouldn't budge until that young man told him to. They practiced the retrieve, they practiced it. He swam out there every time his master told him to go get it. Duck hunting arrived that fall. It got snowy and icy. The young man had built him a good blind on a favorite pond, a marsh that always hosted the prettiest ducks. They got settled in before daylight, the dog by his side. They wasn't there 5-10 minutes after sunrise, and here come the ducks. He laid 3 out on his first couple of shots, right in the dead center of that marsh. It was deep enough. He sent his dog to retrieve, and lo and behold, the dog activated, swam through the bushes, busted through the blind, and basically walked on water, grabbed those ducks, and brought them back. The young man couldn't believe what he had just witnessed. He had trained that dog to swim, and he could. But no, he walked on water. He knew nobody would believe him. He knew it. So he went home with his prize and loved on his companion. And he invited his neighbor the next day to go out with him hunting because he wanted to see and show what his dog had done. So sure enough, the next morning, the neighbor farmer and he arrived in the duck blind, and here comes the ducks. Well, the neighbor laid 2 out, and the young man laid 2 out, and there they fell, right in the middle of the marsh. The dog took off just like the day before, walked on top of the water, grabbed the ducks, took him 2 trips, and laid them at his master's feet. His master was ecstatic. Did you see that? Did you see that? The farmer said, yes, sir, I did. It's unfortunate, son, but I hate to break it to you. But that dog can't swim. And that's something. Sometimes amidst miracles, can't see it. Maybe our friends can't see it. But we know the truth. We have to maintain that happiness, don't we? So, there it is. If your dog's walking on water and your neighbor can't see it, just let it be. You're not going to convince him in an argument on social media or any other way. Is that right, Sissy? I don't know. Sissy's pretty big. Y'all reckon she could walk on water? She might. Maybe if I was out in the middle drowning. Now, she'd probably look at me like, Dad, why did you do that? You're just stupid. No, she wouldn't. She's a good girl. Well, I got our 2 show goats. I have joked about them not really being worth anything. They are, as pets and as living animals. But I put them on staff in the backyard. That little old fence will hold them. Well, y'all can't see them, but they are loving life. They don't have to dodge old DW, knocking them out of the feed pen. And they've got a smorgasbord of weeds and old red tip hedges. And they don't even know what they got. They want to be on the other side of the fence, and they're standing in knee-deep grass, right? So before you pop off, and talking to me too, think about it. Maybe they can't see that dog's walking on water. They just see him as not being able to swim. Maybe that's a different conversation. What are y'all doing, huh? Look at all that grass. Y'all still got to work now. Crazy things. I'm gonna put them up with their friends. They tickle me today. I put that black one on a chain out there just to let him graze, and the brown one wasn't on a chain, but she might as well have been, or he might as well have been, because they couldn't be separate. They could not be separate. That brown one would wander off a bit, and look at these babies. DW leading the pack. Ain't that something? Well, let me turn around and let y'all look at it. We're about to do a roll call. I'm going to end it up. But anyway, that brown one, even though she wasn't on, or he wasn't on a chain, he was not going to be separated. And don't start that. Now. Yeah, I know. That DW is something else. He's playing, but he likes hanging out with me. Sissy, you better help me out with that crazy thing. Look at little marshmallow. They got their horns coming in. I've elected not to dehorn them. They'll be just fine. But they're getting big and loving life, and they're weaning themselves as it's that time. But they've got a little hole in the fence where they can get through, and DW just makes his own hole. I hadn't found the new one, but we will. Don't let him get me, girl. Yeah, I know. You got your eyes on me, but I'm watching you. Don't make me get that pole and whop you with it, because I will. Oh, goodness. All right, let me do a quick roll call. I'm going to sneak over here, but y'all better tell me if that thing comes up on me. Sissy, you better do your job. We ain't doing that tonight. I don't need to be on the ground live. Boy, he's plotting, isn't he? You see him? He won't charge me, but he'll ease up and try to... Oh, y'all didn't tell me, or I wasn't looking, was I? No, he's all right. They'll be all right. Them ladies are out there hollering. I got to go put them up here pretty quick. Nah, I won't pay the price. That price manual was paid long ago, sir. He just... them old goats and rams are lucky we're living in the New Testament instead of the Old Testament, or I might be taking them to Lufkin on Sunday. Just saying. Some will get that, some won't. Hey, Ron, how are you, buddy? Good to see you checking in. Sheila is in Mississippi. I do have to mention real quick, my buddy, Jordan, my wingman. Of course, I got 3 boys and my girl. And he went to Illinois to visit family. It's been a long time. He's been wanting to get up there, and he bought his truck last year, as y'all know. And he's got type 1 diabetes. He's probably not watching this. It's just not his thing. That's all right. But he was due to come back Monday, and ended up with another high sugar episode, and he's in the well, he got moved out of ICU. He's in Mount Vernon, Illinois. He'll be fine. He just needs to get through his head that he's got to manage that a little better. But I'm not going to get on him on here. It's not about that. But prayers for my little buddy this evening. He'll probably be discharged tomorrow if everything goes well like it should. And that diabetes is nothing to play with for sure. But I know he's ready to get back home to Texas. He's had a good visit. He might stay up there another couple of days. Who knows? But sure miss him around here. It's been a little quiet. Sissy misses him, don't you? Yes, sir. You do. Yeah, he'll be back. Anyway, let me get back to doing a roll call. I had to mention that because he's my buddy. There's, I think I said Sheila from Mississippi already. Let me catch back up. There's Randy from Montgomery, Texas. And let's see who else. Donnie from Illinois. Temp sure has dropped here. Really enjoy your videos. Hope all is well. It is, Donnie. Thanks for checking in. It's a little cooler this evening, but cooler is relative in East Texas. So instead of 70-degree nights, we've got 50-degree nights or 55. Almost pulled, I guess we got about 15, 16 new hatches in there, different ages. But they're not quite ready to come to the big house yet. They're fully feathered, a few of them, but I'm just going to hold off until this little cool front, as we call it, passes. Gene saying greetings from Maine. There's Sue checking in from North Carolina. Misty Baird, good to hear that East Texas accent. I got an accent? No. Y'all reckon? No, surely not. Oh, well. Let's see, Sheila. Sissy loving her some. She won't hurt some loving this evening. I know, baby. It's all right. She missing her some Jordan, what it is. There's Sheila. Love the way you think, stories you tell. Thank you. I think it's all in all of us. We just got to dig in a little deeper and appreciate the white geraniums, right? Nancy saying evening. Hope things are looking up on the farm. Weather will come through soon enough. Yeah, I'm not even. I mean, most of the stuff we worry about doesn't happen anyway, right? That's me and my wildflower down south was talking about that last night, and just have to maintain and keep rolling. So I'm gonna let the weeds grow for now. It's too wet to do anything about them anyway, and we'll address it soon enough when it's time, right? Let's see who else is on here. Elaine, thank you for that. Let's see. I'm trying to scroll through all this. My dear friend Pam, love you, so hate the loss of your sister. Fond memories of her back in the Conroe days, Huntsville days. Good to see you on this evening. Sue's Honeycut. May the Lord bless you and keep you, Brother Joel. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's the start of an old Jewish blessing that Pawpaw used to pray over, so it's good stuff. There's Miss Teresa. Good evening to you, ma'am. Hope all is well. Carolyn sending good South Carolina wishes your way. Love to walk your place and hear your ponderings. Well, thank you. Sherry, you got to quit, girl. You know they can't live if they don't scratch. That's an inside joke, and that's a good one. Sure do hate to hear your loss of, man, you've been going through it. Lost your mama, a big fan of Washboard. That's a tough road to walk. Ain't nobody can do it but ourselves. And then your baby puppy, goodness. Both are hard hits, but we got to keep moving, don't we? Just have to. Appreciate you so much. Love you, girl. There's Donna. Good evening to you. Let's see who else is on here checking in. Miss Aggie, good afternoon from Allen, Texas. The master of design. That is so true. So true. Maria's stuck at work, but she's waving. That's all right. I'm jealous of Maria, or Marie. She's out in California. I'm not jealous of that. I am jealous of the avocado trees. I've seen a few of her posts, and I guess you can just walk down the street and pick avocados out there. I love so much that she's replanting some of those seeds randomly, and just, that'd be crazy. Well, I guess the trade-off is y'all get to pick avocados, but we got peas everywhere out here, so that's a good trade-off, I think. Yeah, I'll take the peas and just buy the avocados, I guess. I imagine a bushel of peas in California, purple hulls, I don't even want to know what that would cost. Good afternoon to you too, Roy. Good day to get work done in the garden. Well, not here, but it's a good day to think about it. Yeah, there's green out there, Alexis. The only problem is most of it's weeds. I do have some peas and corn up. Had to chase the crows out this morning, but that's all right. Yep, there's Sissy. Somebody saying hi to you, girl. Summertime's coming. We're going to get the flea medicine out. Thank you, Aggie. I think I got everybody covered. Thanks, Andrew. Good to see you checking in. My good buddy Andrew from Interlochen, Florida. How are you, sir? We already addressed that pay for the price and not clipping them. Manuel, good to see you on. Sharon saying howdy. My good buddy out Waco, Robinson Way. Matt, how are you, buddy? Miss y'all. Sure do. Thanks, Donna, for the prayers. We'll take them. He's going to recover good. Patty Pope says hello again from Georgia. Oh, no, it's not awesome to hear the turkeys. Maybe for you, but I can't even have a phone call out here without them turkeys going off. But I'm not complaining. Hey, Miss Carolyn, neighbor down the road. How are you, ma'am? And I think I got everybody. There's Tammy from South Carolina. I believe that's it. We're going to call that an evening. What do you think, Sissy? Are we done? We done reading them? You see any more? Huh? No, you don't, do you? Yeah, that old sun's going to come out tomorrow, and you can run and play without getting wet. How about that? You ready for that? You are, ain't you? All right. Well, she's shedding. It's that time of year. But all right, y'all have a good evening. Be the light and enjoy the sunshine. And appreciate those geraniums and old jars of green beans. It's worth it. Have a good evening.